By the NDC before the Monday, December 7th polls. We are live on Metro TV, GH1 TV, I believe UTV, TV3, Accra FM, Class FM, Ahoto FM, the NDC Communication Bureau page on Twitter and Facebook, and I believe we will be live on Joy News TV and Asempa FM. I just hope we are not taking off like it happened the last time, depending on what we say here and how they feel about what we say here. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, this afternoon we'll be addressing you on three important things. The first will be the raging debate on President Akufo-Addo's bribe video, which we addressed you on 2 days ago. The second will be our response to the MPP's press conference this morning about the Airbus matter. The third will be our official response to the notice of apology issued by the management of Adom TV relative to the Akufo-Addo bribe video which was aired on their channel. I think that will be the second one. The Airbus matter will be the third one. And the fourth one will be on general corruption issues. And finally, why the Ghanaian people must vote John Dramani Mahama on Monday, 7 December 2020 when we go for the polls. Like it happened the last time, today too, we don't have a script for you. So I will encourage you to take notes if possible or record the proceedings as we move along. So let's start by talking about the raging controversy about Akufo-Addo's bribe video. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, you would recall that 2 days ago, we met you here and addressed you on a video that had become public, a video that had been released on social media by Salis newspaper. Not just that, we also addressed you on a video released by government spokespersons and social media activists. We actually played to you several videos from two sources. The first video we played to you was a video government spokespersons and MPP spokespersons themselves had released on social media. And according to them, this video is a recording of what transpired in the NEMA office of then candidate Akufo-Addo in October 2016, at which a woman and one gentleman led by now Ghana's ambassador to the United States of America, Dr. Ajay Beua, presented T-shirts and some funds to, according to the MPP, the then candidates of their party for their campaign. We played that video to you. That video was coming from government, yet we played it to you. And when we were done, we showed you two other videos from a documentary produced by Salis newspaper after the documentary had already been released on YouTube and other social media platforms. And we did our analysis, asked questions, did all logical deductions, and we submitted to you strongly that for us, the video Dramani Mahama to shore up his sinking campaign. And so the NDC has been blamed, we have been attacked. I mean, all manner of allegations have been made against us for producing and sharing or airing a fake doctored video which captures President Akufo-Addo as taking a bribe of $40,000. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today, 4th December 2020, we would like to reiterate our position on this matter and submit to you very strongly that the second tape we played at our last press conference on this matter, which tape was produced by Salis newspaper and released on social media by Salis newspaper, and which tape captures Ghana's president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, as collecting a bribe of $40,000, is the authentic tape in this raging matter. We want to put that on record and stand by that position. Our position has not changed because it is indeed true that that is the authentic tape, and that what President Akufo-Addo took on that tape was a bribe of $40,000, and no amount of lies can change that. Secondly, we will demonstrate to you today that we are not the authors of this video, and therefore we cannot be accused as having doctored this so-called fake tape. We didn't produce the tape. There is evidence to that effect. We didn't release or publish the tape. We have only seen a tape released by the NPP and that released by Salis newspaper as discerning people who can read in between the lines. We have analyzed both videos, added 1 to 2, read in between the lines, and we have formed an opinion, just like any Ghanaian, any entity can form an opinion. And our opinion on this matter is that the documentary from Salis newspaper is the authentic one. Indeed, President Akufo-Addo collected a bribe of $40,000. And so we are not the originators of the tape, and therefore cannot be accused. Our flag bearer, neither the flag bearer or Sami Jemfi can be accused as having concocted a fake or doctored tape to show any campaign. That is a red herring that needs to be treated with the contempt it deserves. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we show you some pieces of evidence which we believe will settle the authenticity of the Salis newspaper video which captures President Akufo-Addo as taking a bribe, before we will share evidence with you which will settle the authenticity of that tape and expose the dubious nature of the tape released by the NPP, permit me to scrutinize and interrogate the logic, the position that the NPP and some media entities are urging on us on this matter. Now, the NPP concedes that there is a video recording involving President Akufo-Addo, Ambassador Dr. Ajay Bewua, one Hejia Fozia, who has been interviewed by Asasi Radio, and one Yakubu Salis. They concede that is not in dispute. It is not in dispute that a meeting happened between these 4 people in the office of President Akufo-Addo, and that meeting was recorded, secretly recorded. They concede, and that is why they themselves have released a video to that effect. Number 2, they also concede that it is the Salis newspaper owner, who is called Yakubu Salis, who did the recording in the office of President Akufo-Addo. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if I come to your office and I secretly record you with a hidden camera, who will have custody of that recording? It is the one who did the recording. If I come to your office with a secret camera and I record you, you cannot tell me that you have the recording and I don't have it. Or that you who were secretly recorded have the original recording, but I have a fake recording. This is trite legal learning in the law of evidence. The originator of a recording is the one who is presumed to have the original, and is the one who is presumed to be in the proper place to give evidence on the original. You cannot tell me that you have been recorded, but you performed magic and got the original recording, but I who did the recording rather got the fake one. This is a cock and bull story which will only be believed by Marines, people who have sold their conscience, and people who are naive. Ghanaians are not naive. Ghanaians are very discerning. And so they know that in this matter, if there is anyone who should have an original recording, it is definitely not and can definitely not be those who were recorded. That original recording must be in the possession of the one who did the recording. Unless those who were recorded are able to explain to us how they got the original recording. Was it given to them by the one who did the original recording? Or did they perform magic and conjured the original recording from the skies? They must tell us how they managed to get the recording, because they didn't do the recording. There were 4 people in that office. President Akufo-Addo obviously didn't do the recording because his face is seen in the video. Dr. Ajay Bewa definitely didn't do the recording. Hejia Fozia definitely didn't do the recording. The only one who did the recording is the one whose face does not show, who is Salis. So how did Akufo-Addo get the original and Salis got the fake? How did Kojo Oponkroma, who was not in that office, Mustafa Hamid, who was not in that office, Kweku Baku Jr., who was not in that office, get the original, and the one who did the recording got the fake? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I told you here 2 days ago that the gentleman who did the recording is called Yakubu Salis. Now, that name Salis is another rendition of the name Swale. The Muslims will tell you that, the Arab name, for example, Nasir, is called by some Muslims as Nasiru. It's the same thing. So Salis is another rendition of Swale. So Yakubu Salis is the same as Yakubu Swale. And I told you that this Yakubu Swale used to work with Tiger IPI, owned by Anas Arimiyawa Anas, partner of Kweku Bakum. And I told you that he fell out with Anas and joined forces with Kennedy Japan and the MPP. And that it was together with him that they produced the Who Watches the Watchman documentary part 1. I said this. Many people said I was lying. MPP people insulted me and called me names. Now, Kennedy Japan, who promoted and sponsored the Who Watches the Watchman documentary, which captured, allegedly, Anas Arimiyawa Anas collecting bribes and all that, has confirmed that the one he worked with on that project, Who Watches the Watchman, is this Yakubu Salis or Yakubu Swale, who recorded President Akufo-Addo. And so let's watch that video. It's a short clip so that everyone who hasn't heard or seen will know that we are telling you nothing but the truth. So play Kennedy Japan's video.
So they are not out to react, and if they capture Anas, we record this. Who watches the watchman? Yakubu and everybody.
I can't see the video. What's happening?
So now, we're going to preempt what they are saying. Anas, Yakubu, who watches the watchman everybody.
It's okay. We don't have time. It's okay.
Second one, only prosecutor recorded because of sin.
It's okay, you can pause it. You can pause it. So, what I told you at that press conference is factual. Kennedy Japan has come out to confirm that it was this Yakubu Salis who used to work with Anas. He was the one who actually gave him or worked with him on the Who Watches the Watchman documentary. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this Who Watches the Watchman documentary, when it was released by Kennedy Japan, was aired on major media platforms in this country, including all NPP affiliated media organizations like Omai FM, Ash FM. In fact, the independent, reputable media organizations like Multimedia showed the video. I have not seen the one they showed on TV, but at least I will show you an Adom online story in which Multimedia publishes that Who Watches the Watchman documentary. Now, when Salis Yakubu did that documentary and gave it to Kennedy Japan and the MPP, at the time Anas had done the number 12 expose, which caught the then president of the Ghana Football Association saying that the president was in his pockets. The MPP believed hook, line, and sinker everything on that documentary. They went to town with that documentary. Salis Yakubu was not a blackmailer at the time to the MPP. He was not a man who specialized in the doctrine of tapes and the publication of fake tapes. So the MPP believed hook, line, and sinker that video documentary that Salis Yakubu released on Anas to Kennedy Japan. They did a video show. Am I lying? They did a video show. An outdoor video show, and aired that documentary. That documentary was titled Who Watches the Watchman Part 1. So Salis Yakubu was the MPP saint. He was the angel who had given them smoking gun about Anas Arimiyahu Anas's corrupt activities. They celebrated it, shared it on social media, and on the basis of that concluded that Anas and his partners are corrupt. Nobody in this country, no media organization, no person in the MPP challenged the authenticity of that Who Watches the Watchman documentary, which was produced by Salis Yakubu. Kennedy has confirmed that he produced it. Now the same Salis Yakubu has done Who Watches the Watchman Part 2. And that one captures not Anas, but President Nana Addo Dankwa William Akufo-Addo has taken a bribe of $40,000. And now we are being told that Salis is a blackmailer. The tape is fake. He has doctored it. Nobody should believe it. And media organizations are issuing disclaimers and calling the tape fake, dubious. The same Salis Yakubu. And the NDC, who did not produce this tape, nor released it onto social media, we are being accused as having doctored this fake tape, the so-called fake tape. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will prove to you here today that Salis Yakubu is a card-bearing member of the MPP and was an aspiring parliamentary candidate for the new patriotic party in the Yape Kusegu constituency. In this very year, few months ago, the MPP held their parliamentary primaries. In Yape Kusegu, one of the people who contested to become the parliamentary candidate of the MPP, he went through vetting and was cleared, is this Salis Yakubu who recorded President Akufo-Addo and whose work is now being described as an NDC work. Let's see his poster. This is Salis Yakubu Acholu. I say vote number 1. You know, coincidentally, they all picked number 1. He was number 1 on the ballot, and President Akufo-Addo is number 1 on the ballot. So in the MPP primaries in Yape Kusegu, this is Salis Ibrahim. You all know him. He's your colleague in the media. This is him. Vote number 1, Salis Yakubu Acholu, as parliamentary candidate of Yape Kusegu constituency. Care for the needy. That was his motto. Let's see his position on the ballot. Let's see him. Why? What's wrong? Okay. So that is Salis, number 1 on the ballot, just like President Akufo-Addo. Now, somebody will say that, oh, what shows that this is the said Salis who did the documentary? Because there may be other Salis Yakubu Acholu. So this one, I will give you indisputable evidence from the lips of the chief defender of the New Patriotic Party and President Akufo-Addo, Abdul Malik Kwekubako, who has confirmed that this Yakubu Salis is indeed the one who recorded President Akufo-Addo. The same Yakubu Salis who was cleared to contest as parliamentary candidate for the NPP in Yapi Wisego. Let's listen to Kwekubako.
Salis Yakubu Achulu. He's the guy behind the Salis newspaper. He's the guy who did the secret recording of candidate Akufo-Addo.
You know that for a fact?
Sure. This is the guy. One title, named this documentary I write or I can't who watching the Watchman Part 2. That is the guy who was behind who watches Watchman Part 1. That's the same guy. Look, this is a guy. Me influencing the entry into Tagalai. That's why I don't know the way I feel. In 2006, between base, that is coffee shop. Coffee shop. Like this gentleman walked to me. In fact, he opened up to me or your NDC activist. Then, now he's an MPP member. Yes.
Okay.
Even or try to go around war primaries or nothing regional baby. Or from there. Yes.
All right, thank you. Thank you. He has confirmed it. And so, I'm sure even at this stage, it has been settled that number 1, it was not the NDC which released any doctored or fake tape or any tape that captures President Akufo-Addo taking a bribe. It was an NPP card-bearing member, former aspiring parliamentary candidate of Akufo-Addo's NPP, who recorded him, produced a 40-minute documentary titled Akufo-Addo Caught Pants Down, and released him on social media. And you can verify that. We're giving you evidence. Number 2, we have established conclusively that the MPP and media organizations in this country went to town. They aired or are on record to have aired a documentary produced by this same Yakubu Salis and never questioned the authenticity of that documentary, believed it hook, line and sinker, and projected same to be true. And therefore, the MPP and those media organizations are stopped by their conduct to question the authenticity of any documentary coming from Salis, because they believe him. And that is why they aired Who Watches the Watchman Part 2. They cannot say that Who Watches the Watchman, Who Watches the Watchman Part 1, they aired it. And so they cannot now say that Who Watches the Watchman Part 2 is fake. If Who Watches the Watchman Part 1 was not fake when it involved an ass, then Who Watches the Watchman Part 2 cannot be fake, having been produced by the same person. Or is it that, is it because now it involves the man who cannot be touched, the untouchable demigod, President Akufo-Addo, incorruptible President Akufo-Addo? That is why we are being censured not to talk about this issue. They have been exposed badly. Now, my brothers and sisters, friends from the media, one may ask, so, okay, why do you say that the video from Salis is authentic? I've explained that. Number 1, the one who originates a video is the only one who is presumed to have the original, and is the only one who in law can give evidence about the original tape. It is trite learning. You can ask any lawyer. That's number 1. Number two, Salis did not only release a video of what happened in the office of President Akufo-Addo. He has released other videos. A video recording of the personal assistant of the Deputy Chief of Staff, Asenso Boakye, demanding for money from the director or chief executive of the urban roads, Abbas Awulu, so that he can calm the nerves of MPP communicators and officials who were seeking the dismissal of Abbas Awulu. So in the 40 minutes documentary is that video which captures Edmond Chey, personal assistant to Asenso Boakye, collecting money from people who worked with Abbas Awulu. And it is the same Salis Yakubu who recorded it. Two, he has also produced a recording of one Mr. Tosu, who works as urban roads, and who was heard in the video saying that they want Abbas Awulu out because he's an NDC man, and that he was doing the bidding of the NDC. He was the one, I can't play that video, but I want to remind you, he was the one who Salis Yakubu paid for his lunch. You remember that part of the video? All those incidents are not in dispute. All those incidents happened in 2017. So why will Salis Yakubu record Mr. Tosu of Urban Roads in 2017? That one the MPP doesn't dispute. Record the personal assistant of Asenso Boakye in 2017, collecting money from Abbas Awulu to protect him. And that one the MPP doesn't dispute. Media organizations don't dispute. But when he records President Akufo-Addo in the same documentary, then oh, it is a 2016 documentary, it is a fake, doctored video. I mean, what kind of double standards is this? What kind of duplicity is this? What kind of hypocrisy is this? What kind of dishonesty is this? Number two, we are saying that Salis Yakubu's video is the authentic one. Because I don't see how, for the life of me, the wife of the urban roads director appointed by John Mahama and the NDC will go to President Akufo-Addo and give him money and t-shirts for campaign to unseat the appointer of her husband so that he can sack her husband from office and investigate her husband, who had been accused by President Akufo-Addo as having inflated the cost of urban roads projects. President Akufo-Addo, in opposition, accused the NDC for inflating the cost of several urban roads projects. One is just sitting on my left here, the Circle Interchange. Who was the one who worked on that project? Abbas Awulu. And so President Akufo-Addo said that when elected, he was going to investigate it. And this, the MPP would have us believe that the wife of this man went to President Akufo-Addo to give him support for his campaign. We don't think that that story adds up. But ladies and gentlemen, let's even grant them that. Assuming without admitting that indeed this wife of Abbas Awulu was so callous, didn't care about the interest and welfare of her husband, and wanted the rival of her husband to be president, to sack her husband and investigate him for padded projects. And so she went to President Akufo-Addo's residence in October 2016 to give him 1,000 t-shirts and money for his campaign. Let's even grant them that. Assuming without admitting that that is true, what does it change? What does it change? An opposition leader at the time who was accusing state officials, public officials, for inflating the cost of projects, took campaign support from the same public officials who he had promised to investigate when elected. And people think that can absolve the president of liability. That is even worse. What it means is that President Akufo-Addo did not become corrupt only in government. He was corrupt even in opposition. And so even in opposition, he was taking post-dated bribe ahead of time. That is what it means. Because you are an opposition leader, you are not even the treasurer of your party, you are a flag bearer. And you are telling me that you took money from a public official, the wife of a public official, and the wife disclosed to you that I'm the husband of this man, Urban Roads Director, whom you had accused as being the one inflating road projects and all that. And you had promised that you were going to launch an investigation into those inflated projects when elected. So why do you take money from him? With two hands, like Ulele, and laugh on top of that, and ask for a name to be recorded in a bribe register. So even if we grant them, it is not true. The recording was in 2017 when he was president, because Edmond Che's recording was in 2017. The Urban Roads guy, the recording was in 2017. President Akufo-Addo's recording cannot be said to have been a recording in 2016. But even if we grant them that one was done ahead of time, it still means that President Akufo-Addo is corrupt, and in fact was very corrupt in opposition. Because as a lawyer, he knows that if I am in a position of authority over you, right now President Akufo-Addo is in the position of authority over the Urban Roads Director. If the man commits any wrong, can he say it? After all, you took money from my wife. So this one is not prepaid, like prepaid, those of us who use prepaid meter and buy prepaid power. This one is postpaid, like paying the bribe in advance. It's like a standing order on account. That is it. Either than that, ladies and gentlemen, we are all discerning people. Will President Akufo-Addo come into office and retain a man appointed by President Mahama and the NDC in such an important office? Retain a man he had accused for inflating road projects. Are we children? Abbas Awulu's counterpart who worked at highways has been sacked. His counterpart at feeder roads has been sacked. Only him, NDC Mahama appointee, now Akufo-Addo's darling boy. And we are being made to believe that the money was not a bribe. So whichever way you look at it, it is a bribe. And it's a smoking gun evidence that shows that President Akufo-Addo is the most corrupt president Ghana has ever had. Today, Ghana has become a butt of jokes. We have become an object of international ridicule. Our president, who happens to be the chair of ECOWAS, is being ridiculed on social media for his expertise in the collection of bribes. He doesn't collect it with one hand so that they can fall down. Collects it with two hands. Can you imagine when he attends ECOWAS meetings, how his fellow head of state will be looking at him? The goalkeeper is coming. The goalkeeper is coming. This is an embarrassment to Ghana. This is a dent on our image. And no amount of lies. Listen, those insulting Samij and you are wasting your time. People have seen the video, they are discerning. Who are you trying to fool? You think that Ghanaians are zombies? And so, everything we have told you is true. At least today you know that it was an MPP parliamentary candidate who recorded President Akufo-Addo. What motive will an MPP parliamentary candidate have to record President Akufo-Addo taking a party donation and after that doctor it to appear as though it was a bribe? MPP parliamentary candidates. MPP parliamentary candidates. And ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bako tells us that government has always been in know of the existence of this video. I want us to use common sense here. They've always known that somebody had recorded President Akufo-Addo. And so that is why they got the original. How they got it, he says we shouldn't ask him. Kweku Baku says, don't ask me how I got the original. Government hasn't told us how they got the original. Now they are saying that this guy Who did the recording of the original? Oh, please, can you close the door? This thing is disrupting us. Now, Mr. Bako is telling us that government already knew of this video. Let's say it was even in 2016. It means the video has been in existence for years. The MPP has the original, what they've always known. And yet, they didn't arrest Salis Yakubu. Yet, they allow Salis Yakubu to contest on their ticket as aspiring parliamentary candidate. A man who is seeking to disgrace your president, your flag bearer. You cleared him adverting and you contested on your ticket. He's not been arrested. I mean, you should be very naive to believe this cock and bull story. When I can forfeit an manasem. Me, I standing here. I was picked up by 5 heavily built CID personnel. I believe they were Delta Force, elements who have been incorporated into the CID. With sophisticated weapons. What was my crime? Allegedly, they claim I had shared a certain letter on social media which was on a wrong letterhead. And so it was fake. And it wasn't even true. They arrested me. And you think that, and that letter involves Asante Bedio to Executive Secretary to the President. You think that somebody can record President Akufo-Addo and doctor the tape, and yet the person will be given a slap on the wrist and rewarded with clearance to contest on the ticket of the MPP as parliamentary candidate in Yape Kusegu. And then what do? They quickly go to the house of Hajia Fozia, the woman who paid the money. And then they interview her, and Hajia Fozia says, oh, the money I paid was not bribe. And media men are going to town with this. Oh, the woman herself says that the money is not bribe. Really? When in this world, Paka, did you see a bribe giver, a bribor, accepting that he has paid bribe? Where in this world? A bribor, the giver of a bribe, accepting that I have paid bribe. Bribery is a crime. And so if I pay bribe and I am captured on tape, because I'm so foolish, I will come and say, oh yes, I paid bribe. This is the logic people are urging on us. The giver and the taker of a bribe are all guilty. One cannot exonerate the other. One cannot exonerate the other. And this is common sense. In any case, in all fairness, Hajia Fozia was the one who paid the money. When she went to the office and President Akufo-Addo asked her to speak, she elected her chairman, Yakubu Sales, to do the speaking for her. So so you bring your chairman to President Akufo-Addo. Your chairman records President Akufo-Addo and doctors it. And you are not an accomplice. Nobody is coming after you. Rather, we are giving you a mic to do an interview and clear the president's name. Ridiculous. If indeed Salis doctored the tape, the woman would have been arrested by now as her accomplice, because she took Salis to the office and she elected Salis as her chairman. Is that not what is on the tape? And people cannot do this simple analysis. Reputable media organizations. And you see, ladies and gentlemen, I am one person, or the NDC is a party which works with the media. We love you, we respect you, we appreciate you, and we will continue to collaborate with you. We are not on any mission to attack any media house. No. How would that benefit us? We need your highly esteemed messages to convey our message of hope to the people of this country. But just like the politicians are expected to be truthful, to be professional, to be ethical, to be fair, media organizations are also expected to be fair. They are expected to be ethical, professional, and transparent. And just like when we go wrong, media organizations are able to criticize us. Media organizations are able to even do their own documentaries and expose wrongdoing or corruption in government. In that same vein, when media organizations treat political parties unfairly, we have every right to say it. When we say it, it is not because we are against them or we have anything. I have nothing against multimedia. I have nothing against Paul. As for Paul Adomotre, I will not even bother to respond to, because he is an Akufo-Addo appointee, board member, NCA. He's only doing the job President Akufo-Addo has paid him with the taxpayers' money to do. So why will I respond to him? He is just like an MPP communicator. But my disappointment has to do with multimedia. Multimedia has every right, ladies and gentlemen, to issue a disclaimer on any content which is aired on their platform, which content they cannot authenticate or verify. It is their right to do so. And so if they had simply issued a disclaimer that our attention has been drawn to a video which was aired on Nokwaremre by the NDC, we cannot verify the authenticity or the truthfulness of that tape. And so we want to distance ourselves from it, we retract, and we apologize to any person whose reputation has been affected by the airing of this tape. There wouldn't have been any problem, because you cannot force them to share your opinion. The evidence we have is not the evidence they have. And we cannot all have one opinion. And so they have every right to issue a disclaimer. But was that what they did? No. Beyond issuing a disclaimer, they went ahead to pronounce judgments on the issue of the authenticity of the tape and said that the tape indeed is fake and that it was redone in 2016 and all that. You can now put multimedia's notice of apology on the screen, because we are responding to them. If they like, they can cover it. If they like, they can take us off. Ghanaians will judge. You were all in this very auditorium when, wrongly or rightly so, I criticized CTFM. They didn't take us off. In fact, even after the press conference, they were after some of us to grant them interviews on eyewitness news after we are taking them on. But now some media stations, you criticize them, we have to take you off, even when you have paid for airtime for them to stream your press conference live. But we are tolerant, and so I will not say what Mustafa Hamid said. I will not say I will deal with Adum TV. Who am I? If Sami Jenfi has said that I would deal with Adum TV, oh, the whole country would have come on him. Small boy. Who are you to threaten? You are threatening media organizers. That's what they would have said. But Mustafa Hamid can threaten Adum TV, and oh, they are running. They've all been cowered into cowardice, doing what they have never done before. This is their notice of apology. Yesterday, 1st December 2020, Adum TV aired a video allegedly of the president receiving a bribe of $40,000, which was shown during airtime bought by the National Democratic Congress. It has now come to the attention of management of Adum TV that the contents of the video as aired does not represent the full story as it understands, which was in fact a video of the then, which was in fact, a video of the then candidate Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in October 2016 receiving a donation of 40,000 cedis. They are giving the denomination cedis. In fact, in the video, they say 40,000. Even in the so-called authentic MPP video, the so-called authentic MPP, which we played both on Adum TV and at this press conference, the MPP's own video, it doesn't say anywhere 40,000 cedis. No, tell me if I'm lying. It says 40,000. So how did multimedia get 40,000 cedis there? For his campaign. Adum TV or blah, blah, blah. You see, so now they themselves have turned themselves into defenders of President Akufo-Addo, who are desperate to clear his mess and his shame. They are saying that in fact the tape is doctored. Okay. Multimedia, we believe so much in your reputation and your credibility. Share with us the evidence you have that shows that indeed the tape was a 2016 tape. Share it with us, and we will apologize to you and go with your position. Have you conducted any forensic laboratory analysis on the tape? Was your reporter in President Akufo-Addo's office the day the recording happened? How did you arrive at this definite conclusion that the tape is a fake tape, it was done in 2016 and all that? Tell us. When we come on your platforms and we make allegations, you ask us for evidence, further and better particulars. Give us your evidence and we'll go with you and we will apologize to you. But if you do not, then, on behalf of the National Democratic Congress, I am saying that Mr. Kwasichum and the directors, the owners, the managers of Adum TV owe the NDC an apology. They owe the NDC a retraction and apology for their notice of apology. Because you have defamed us. You have impugned our credibility. You are saying that the video we have shown is fake. Show us the evidence. Prove your case, and we will apologize to you and go with your position. But if you don't have any evidence, you have not done any laboratory analysis on the tape, you don't have any evidence, and yet you took this definite position, then, in line with the ethics, the principles of fairness that you profess to believe in, you owe the NDC a retraction and apology for your notice of apology. And ladies and gentlemen, look, we've all been in this country. There have been so many tapes which have been leaked on social media and all that, and which mainstream media stations have taken them up. The Bugri Nabu tape, the Samia Wuku tape, Obri Buayin tape, the Ofoswam Pofu tape. Ladies and gentlemen, even the Who Watches the Watchman tape, show me the Adum online story so that they won't say I accuse them falsely. I'm giving you evidence that multimedia aired, published a documentary produced by the same Salis Yakubu. That's Who Watches the Watchman Part 1, without questioning its authenticity. So show me that Adum online story. But ladies and gentlemen, the point I'm making is that we've all been in this country and we have seen so many tapes come up. Since when did you hear any media organization? Since when have you heard multimedia, Adum TV or any multimedia station come out to say that this tape is either fake or it is authentic? Anytime a tape has come out, they have subjected it to their own analysis, called various parties to comment on the matter, and they've left the decision to Ghanaians to pronounce judgment. When the matter of Ofoswam Pofu's doctored tape came up, we said the tape was doctored. The matter is currently sub judice. It is pending in court. Yet multimedia discusses it, and they allow people to discuss it. That one is not fake, even when we say it is fake. Yet without any evidence, you tell us that the video we have released is, Salis Yakubu has released is fake. When you have published a video or an expose by the same Salis Yakubu, Who Watches the Watchman Part 1, is it because that President Akufo-Addo is involved? Or is it because Mustafa Hamid threatened you that he would deal with you? That is why you issued that statement. Because I don't know multimedia to be an organization that is timid or afraid of threats. I don't know. So what they have done is so unfair, and we are pained by that. Because they are one of our media partners that we work with, just like all media organizations. And what they have done is not fair. I am sure that if they sit down and they scrutinize this letter and the evidence they have, they will know that what they have done is not fair. So ladies and gentlemen, we've given you our evidence because we had nothing to hide, because we were not on any mischief path. We showed you 2 videos. Who would do that? If I want to deceive you about a doctor table, I show you 2 videos, the authentic and the fake. We showed you 2 videos. We did our analysis, and we asked you, the media, to make your own judgment. And we left the rest to the good people of this country who are discerning and know better than some of us to make their own judgment. What crime have we committed? Let Ghanaians judge which of the tapes are authentic. And let's see if Ghanaians will accept this cock and bull story. That, Atosu was recorded in 2017. Edmonche, 2017. But Akufo-Addo, 2016. And that's the one who recorded the tape has a fake tape. But the one who was recorded secretly has the original. Tell that story to Kenyans and let them decide in the truth. But don't use your independence and the reputation you have bought, you have built all these years to back, or if you like, to attempt to whitewash the president. Because right now, the MPP is no longer talking about the press release, Kojo Oponkroma release on this matter. They are no longer talking about their own press conference because it didn't fly. They are now riding on the back of Adum TV's reputation. So what they are saying is that Adum TV even says the tape is fake. That is what you have done. You have denied Ghanaians. You've succeeded in confusing some people. But we know that God is alive. Our God is alive. Amen. The same way this tape came out. We never knew about it 4 years ago. It has come out. Boni Suma. When your cup is full, it will overflow. And God will speak on 7th December. And we all will know the truth. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the last point we will make on this matter is that President Akufo-Addo must speak on this tape. Listen, when the Airbus matter came, and I will address you on that very, very, very soon, President Mahama spoke to Daily Graphic. And since then, he's been asked questions on that, and he has spoken to that. In fact, when that matter broke with the speed of light, in 24 hours, President Akufo-Addo referred it to Martin Amidu to investigate. And Martin Amidu says in his last letter that President Akufo-Addo actually reached out to him through an MP to investigate John Mahama. It's been so many days since this matter broke. When would President Akufo-Addo speak on it? Show me what Samia Wuku has said, their national organizer, my very good friend. Let's see when President Akufo-Addo will speak on this matter according to Samia Wuku. Akufo-Addo will respond to fake bribery tape after December 7. Really? Really? When Airbus came, he said, oh, President Mahama should speak. President Mahama should speak. Nana Kumia said, if I were him, I would just speak and lay the matter to rest. Why hasn't President Akufo-Addo spoken? Kojo Oponkroma, who is speaking for you, was not in the room. You were only 4 people when you took the money with both hands, like goalkeeper Ali Jara. So, why is Kojo Oponkroma speaking for you? Mustafa Hamid was not there. Why is he speaking for you? President Akufo-Addo is a lawyer. Many years standing, he can speak for himself. He is on the campaign trail. This is a serious matter. The international community is watching. Let him speak. Just like John Mahama spoke on the Airbus, not just Airbus. You recall when Multimedia commissioned an expose on the Ford gift saga by journalists who used to work with, very respectable journalist Manasseh Azuri. Did President Mahama speak on the matter or not? He spoke. He granted an interview to this MPP appointee, Paul Adomotre, was asked about the matter and he spoke. When the matter was reported to Strach and investigations were being conducted, he was questioned and he presented a written statement. He spoke. His lawyer spoke and he was cleared. Coincidentally, even when he was cleared that the Ford gift was not bribe, Multimedia didn't render any apology or retraction. Until date, they still allow the matter to be discussed on their platform and allow people to say that it was a bribe, which is okay. This is fine. You understand? We have no problem with that. So President Akufo-Addo should speak. You took money. No, I mean, nobody took the money from you. Today I was listening to one disappointed MPP member, A+, who said that his knowledge of the workings of President Akufo-Addo and the MPP, anytime somebody went to President Akufo-Addo with a campaign donation, he referred the person to the party treasurer or a party officer or another person. So he is even sure that President Akufo-Addo gladly with laughter took this money with his 2 hands. He's surprised. So nobody can speak for President Akufo-Addo on this matter. In fact, his silence is evidence of his guilt. His silence is evidence of his indisputable guilt in this matter. So we rest our case on this matter. We won't talk about it again. Maybe on Okwaremre on GH1 on Saturday we'll talk about it for the last time. But we are not going to address any press conference on it again. It's been settled. You know who did the recording? An MPP parliamentary candidate, Yakubu Salis. The same one who watches the Watchman Part 1 against Anas that the NPP celebrated and shared all over the place. Believed hook, line, and sinker. And it is, there are other things Kennedy has said. That it is as a result of this whole matter that Ahmed Swale died. I told you, he has confirmed. Because they were looking for a Swale. But there was one Yakubu Swale, and there was one Ahmed Swale. The Yakubu Swale has, for the want of, he has brutalized his Swale into Salis. So he escaped. And they got the wrong Swale. That is how they killed an innocent man. So if you're a media organization, you are treating this matter lightly. When NDC matter come up, quickly they are playing. First news story, Joy FM, Adom FM. Hey, the tape, is it authentic? This one, no interview, no comments. Somebody has died because of this. We leave you to your conscience. I rest my case. Ladies and gentlemen, now we hear that the MPP is seeking to equalize. Held a press conference this morning and made some unfounded allegations against the flag bearer of the NDC, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Our response to their press conference will be very crisp because that's empathy. Ladies and gentlemen, this Airbus matter broke months ago, if not more than a year, but I think months ago, where the approved judgments of the Crown Court of Southwark and other deferred prosecution agreements in the District Court of Columbia established that Airbus, manufacturers of the Airbus aircraft, had confessed to the paying of bribes to officials of certain governments that they have worked with and certain companies they have dealt with. It's been months. Nowhere in that report, that is a report of the UK SFO on the Airbus matter, the approved judgment of the Crown Court of Southwark and the deferred prosecution agreement in the District Court of Columbia, is it said that any government official was paid any money in the Airbus matter. Not a phrase, not a sentence, not a paragraph, not a word in the whole documents on the Airbus matter suggests that any Ghana government official, not even the so-called government official one, collected money, benefited in any way, or violated any law in that transaction. So why the noise about this Airbus matter? I am throwing a challenge to Kojo Ponkroma and Mustafa Hamid. Let me add Nana Komia as well. And maybe Kweku Bako. And the MPP. That by close of day today, if they want Ghanaians to take them seriously, they should just show. Kojo Ponkroma can tweet it. Show us one phrase, one sentence in the whole Airbus deferred prosecution agreement or approved judgment in which it is said that a Ghana government official at the time the transaction took place was paid any money or committed any offense. And I, Sami Jenfi, I will resign as communication officer of the NDC. Just show me one phrase or one sentence. I am daring you. If you are factual, if you know what you're talking about, and you're not just throwing dust into the eyes of Ghanaians, we are daring you. Show us. There is nothing. When you went for their press conference, they gave you nothing but conjectures, conspiracy theories, and falsehood. The reports are available. Show us. Which part of the report says that a Ghana government official was paid bribe in the acquisition of the aircrafts? The whole Airbus matter is about agents of Airbus who were paid agency fees by Airbus. Government of Ghana did not recruit any agents in that transaction, and government of Ghana did not pay any agency fee. And no government official was paid anything. It is not in there. If they are saying it is in there, tweet the relevant paragraph or sentence or page. Mustafa Hamid, tweet it. And let's know that you are speaking the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, this matter came months ago, like I said. Do you think? Look at how President Akufo-Addo hates John Mahama with a passion. Look at the way the MPP hates John Mahama. Their number one opponent, if they had evidence that he has taken bribe, will he be contesting this election? Would they have reduced it to press conferences? Were they elected to talk? Governments don't talk, they act. If you have evidence that John Mahama has done anything wrong in the Airbus, the man has dared you. He has dared you. That bring it out. Investigate me. Can President Akufo-Addo dare Martin Amidu today? Can he dare him? When he warned him that if you joke, I will reveal more of your stinking corrupt acts. Silence. Since that time till now. But President Mahama dared Martin Amidu. And he dared governments. And till date, they've not done anything full. Because there is nothing in there. It is empty. They are just looking for a bribery classmate for their president, President Akufo-Addo. But they cannot have one in John Mahama. Because John Mahama is incorruptible. His integrity is unassailable. He's been deputy minister, MP for 3 terms, vice president, and president. Not a scintilla of evidence has ever been produced by anybody that shows that he has ever committed a crime or stolen any money in any of the public offices he has served. 4 years ago, these same people told you that John Mahama had bought houses in Dubai. 4 years ago, they told you that John Mahama has spent $10 million to print presidential diaries. 4 years ago, they told you that John Mahama had inflated the cost of the Kaswa interchange. They told you that he had inflated the cost of the Ridge Hospital, the Kumasi Airport project, the Circle interchange, among others. They said he was a thief. It destroyed the reputation of an innocent man. It is the God of John Mahama who is speaking today and exposing them for all their corrupt acts. Because as we speak today, not a scintilla of evidence has been adduced by the MPP to buttress any of the allegations they made against John Mahama. John Mahama remains squeaky clean. Not a dent on his integrity. No evidence of corruption. None of his political appointees has been incarcerated for corruption. All what Ghanaians were fed with by the MPP were all lies. And it is this same Mustafa Hamid. You see, he's an expert in lying during elections, in the run-up to elections. That is why they have unleashed him. They have benched Yabu Abiansa when they have unleashed him. They tried and now it didn't work. The man came, tried, it didn't work, so they brought Mustafa Hamid. He was the one in 2016 who said Mahama was doing one chief, one car, and that they would do one village, one dam. And that governance is all about priorities. Today they are sharing cars like Gary. They are sharing TV screens, TV sets, mattresses. They are sharing money like bullfruit. This same man, what credibility do they have? They have no credibility, and they should not even be given any attention. When they tell you Mahama is corrupt, ask them, what have you done about it? Where is the evidence? We elected you to come and act. So what actions have you taken? Have you investigated him? Where is the report? It will settle the matter. We are done on the Airbus. President, ladies and gentlemen, now to sum up the issue of corruption, somebody will say, but why are you talking about the Akufo-Addo bribe tape and all that? Ladies and gentlemen, it is because of the importance of this subject of corruption. You see, you can have all the best plans and policies in the world. You can have the best programs in the world, the best ideas, but you need money to execute those ideas, policies, and programs. And so if you do not safeguard the public purse, and you allow a few people to steal the money, no matter the ideas and policies and programs you have, they will remain ideas. You cannot implement them. Ladies and gentlemen, that is why we are discussing corruption. Because it is at the heart of the development of this country. In fact, it is the bane of this country. And that is why organizations like the UN and the World Bank have said that corruption is a bigger killer than starvation, robbery, and so on. And so this is important. If in 2016 corruption was a key issue for the MPP, then corruption must be key in this campaign. And what we are saying is that President Akufo-Addo has so far demonstrated that he doesn't have the interests of this country at heart. He is very corrupt. He is the chief clearing agent of corruption. He is the embodiment of corruption. Just like Jesus was the word of God in flesh, President Akufo-Addo is corruption in flesh. He speaks corruption. He breathes corruption. He is corruption. And he swims in corruption. That is why from the Bossgate corruption scandal, in which 5 million liters of contaminated fuel were sold as scrap in violation of the Public Procurement Law and the NPA Act, he has failed to act. Until date, the proceeds have not been paid into the state coffers. That is why in the PDS matter, his cronies defrauded Ghana with a fake insurance guarantee, took over ECG worth 20 billion cedis, collected our electricity bills, used $12 million, equivalent to 600 billion cedis, to pay their premium for the fake insurance guarantee, collected over 1 billion cedis. Until date, they have failed to account for it. That is what accounts for the PPA scandal, in which ABIJ has stolen 450 billion cedis. And President Akufo-Addo has not acted. He's not standing prosecution. The same accounts for the 500 missing excavators scandal, the missing tricycle scandal, the NLA street light scandal, the Ejapa scandal, in which Akufo-Addo has paid 240 billion cedis to Data Bank, owned by Ken Ofori-Atta, his cousin, and Gabi Otredakon's law firm, another cousin of his. If all these things were lies, Sammy Gyamfi would have been sued by now. And Sammy Gyamfi would have been found liable for defamation by now. I started saying these things years ago. Why haven't they sued us or any NDC person? Because it is the truth. They are afraid. That is why when we do our Nokremre shows, you hear that, Kwekubaku says, Abbas Awulu will write to multimedia to retract. Why don't you write to Sammy Gyamfi? Why do you always go to the media organizations? I mean, any lawyer will tell you, when a client comes to you that he has been defamed, you first of all write to the one who uttered alleged defamatory words. Try it. Why don't you write to me? I'm daring them. If it is not true, Gabi, you are a lawyer. Bedia, to you are all lawyers. Sue me. And let's meet in court. And stop intimidating media organizations. And we never get to see the letters they give the media organization. We never get to see. They only tell us that people are threatening to see us, so we will not allow you to come again. They don't show us the letters. So whether it is a non-existent threat or a real threat, we don't even know. But can you blame the media? You can't blame them. You can't blame them. Look at what has happened to Ahmed Swale. Even Dumlevo, whose constitutional independence was guaranteed by our laws. What has happened to him? What has happened to Edward Adeti, Manasseh Azure? So I don't blame multimedia. We forgive them. I don't blame any media organization. It is because of the atmosphere we find ourselves in today, where we have a dictatorial, authoritative, corrupt president in office. That is what accounts for this moral decadence. And so, ladies and gentlemen, President Akufo-Addo has proven to be nepotistic. He's proven to be corrupt. He's proven to be vindictive. He's proven to be deceptive. And he does not deserve another 4 more years. Ghana does not deserve a bribe taker as president. Ghana does not deserve a corrupt person as president. And so humbly and with all respect, we appeal to Ghanaians that come Monday, 7th December, vote John Mahama for free primary health care. Vote John Mahama for Chimpe, which will absorb 50% of the school fees of all continuing students in polytechnics, technical universities, nursing training institutions, and so on. Vote John Mahama for Fanina, which will ensure that no SHS student who has graduated and will be entering tertiary institutions next year will pay fees. Every first year student, whether you are a free SHS graduate or not, once you are entering university, polytechnic, nursing training, college of education next year, your school fees, John Mahama Sefani, it is free. Vote for John Mahama to make free SHS better by ending double track by his first term, and by including private schools in the implementation of double track and investing in quality so that we can have free, quality, one-track SHS. Vote for John Mahama for 1 million jobs. Vote for John Mahama for the National Apprenticeship Program, which will ensure that any young person desirous to learn a craft will be enrolled as an apprentice with a master craftsperson. Government will pay the apprenticeship fee for you for free. You will be remunerated every month to support your accommodation and feeding. And when you are done, you will be given the necessary toolkits to establish your own business. Vote for John Mahama minus, so that the difficulty and problems you are being put through by this corrupt government will end. Those of you who have had your excavators seized will have it back under John Mahama. Those of you who have had your concession seized will have it under John Mahama. And you are going to have a gold board which will give you all the tools, the credit you need for your business in a way that does not compromise our water bodies and our environment in general. Cocoa farmers, vote for John Mahama for free fertilizer. Fishermen, vote for John Mahama so that the corruption in the distribution of premise fuel will end. Vote for John Mahama for jobs and prosperity for all. Thank you very much for coming, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, hello, Calvin, can you help me with the mic? I doubt if I can speak Tree, but I doubt if I can speak Tree, but do I have any questions? If I don't, it's okay. Do I have any questions? Okay. So, the account stations are asking me to do a quick summary in Tree. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will just crave your indulgence. Just remain in your chairs. Let's observe some order. I'll be very brief so that we can move on. And your friend when you're born, the decline, you become one sem a on my pinion kufuado tape, videotape about Bontia. Yahoo said, or ladies and gentlemen, I think you're tired. I'm also tired as well. So I will do the tree on Saturday on Okaramre. So thank you very much. Let's call it a day. I'll do the tree on Okaramre. Please. No. Let's do the tree on Okaramre. Thank you. It's okay. We'll do it. When you call me, I'll speak to you. Let's work with it.